What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these smoky, snappy, delicious, plump smoked chicken sausages.
Yeah.
Typically when I'm making a sausage, it's either going to be a beef sausage, a pork sausage, or a combination of the two. Except for that Bubba Cole sausage I did a while back that was beef and turkey, and that was absolutely fantastic. But one thing you don't see too often in the barbecue world is chicken sausages, which I think is a shame because smoked chicken is one of my favorite things. So, that being said, today we are going to take a stab at making some smoked chicken sausage, and it is going to be delicious. These are some chicken thighs. Today we're going with some boneless, skinless chicken thighs because chicken thighs are a little bit juicier, a little bit more flavorful, and should give us a juicier sausage at the end. Although something tells me that breast meat might give us a better texture. I don't know, that's an experiment for another day. And as you can see, there's a decent amount of fat on there, which is gonna help out a lot. So right now I'm just going through and I'm just cutting these in half, maybe quarters, fit through the meat grinder a little bit easier. Chicken skin is another option I'd like to play around with, although in a coarse grind sausage, I'm not sure how it would come out. That might be better for a more emulsified kind of thing. But again, plenty of chicken experiments to come. And although we're using thighs that have a little bit of fat on them, we're gonna need some more fat in order to make a nice juicy sausage. So you can use whatever you like. Some duck fat would be great, beef fat would be great. Today we're gonna go with some pork fat because it's already going into a pork casing, so why not? But first I'm gonna weigh all this out to figure out how much fat we need to add. Ooh, almost forgot, we're also gonna go in with some chicken livers. That's gonna add some wonderful flavor, nice amount of richness. And if you've never had chicken livers before or you think you don't like them, gotta give them a shot. They are super tasty. Do about a pound. And of course, in with our cubed up pork fat. So those of you keeping score at home who don't want to check the description for exact amounts and ingredients, that is 4 pounds of chicken thigh, 1 pound of chicken livers, and 1 pound of pork fat. And I think that should work out just about great. Now that everything's weighed out, I'm gonna pop this into the freezer while we get our spices ready. When it comes to spice blend for your chicken sausage, you can do pretty much whatever you like. Chicken is a super blank canvas, and you can make it whatever flavor you like, whether it's curry, spicy, savory. But today we're gonna keep it pretty basic with a standard salty and savory mix that'll give you guys a great base place to start. And building it from here, if you want it spicier, add more cayenne, whatever. So, starting out, we're going in with our binder, which is some milk powder, then some kosher salt, black pepper, paprika, mustard powder, some cayenne, onion powder, some garlic powder, and for a little bit of color, we're going in with some parsley as well. And this should give us a nice classic tasting sausage with a lot of bind to it and kind of that Central Texas German Czech style flavor profile. Mix that all up, get all the clumps out of there. We are good to go. Hey! Chicken is out of the freezer. Again, it was only in there for maybe half an hour, but any little bit helps when you're making sausage because you really want all this stuff to be nice and cold so you get a really clean grind. Make sure none of this fat smears and clogs up the grinder. So we're just gonna go in with all of our seasoning mixture and make sure it's evenly dispersed. Looking good to me. We're also gonna go in with our ice, which is gonna be our liquid for this sausage. If I had thought about it, I probably would have got some chicken stock. But again, the world is yours. So now, time to send it through the grinder. And I'm just gonna grind right back into this bowl, because you know what they say, save a dish, save a fish. I don't think anyone's ever said that. I'm going on my 10mm coarse die today, as I always do, unless I'm making an emulsified sausage. Which again, chicken hot dogs, that'll have to happen at some point. And this grinder I'm using is from Cabela's. I think it's the half horsepower version. I try to put links to it in the description, but they seem to keep on breaking. The link, not the grinder. Yeah, this thing is great. No problems yet. Smelling like sausage. Looking good to me. Nice color on there. Done. All right, back into this container we go. And we're just gonna knead this, mix it all up, make sure everything is evenly dispersed, add a little bit more tackiness to the party, and then we'll be ready to case. Gotta tell you, this feels pretty weird. Usually it's tacking up a lot more, the way that pork and beef kind of release their enzymes and whatnot. Chicken, not so much. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Pack it in there nice and tight, don't want any air pockets. All right, folks, you know the drill from here. It's time to start stuffing and getting our hands nice and dirty. These are some hog casings. I couldn't get my hand on any chicken casings, but this will do just fine. Standard size, I think they're 32 mil or 35 mil, somewhere in that range. And they've been soaking for a bit. I'm gonna send some water through the casing just to make sure it goes onto the horn nicely and flushes out all the salt, because these come packed in salt. So now we're just gonna stroke this on here. Giving it a nice, gentle tug. And because this is only a 6-pound batch, shouldn't need that many casings. Hopefully one will do. God, this is a long casing. How long is this thing? There it is. Oh yeah, there you go, big fella. All right, we're gonna tie this end off nice and tight, and then realize that I forgot my knife. Every time. Nip the tip, yoink, and start casing away. If you've seen my other sausage making videos, you know I like to go link by link, especially if it's just a small batch like this, because I can really control the speed at which it comes out to make sure the casing is nice and plump, and at the same time I know there's no air pockets in here, so therefore I don't have to go through and prick every sausage. If you're doing 100 pounds or so, then making one long rope and linking them from there makes a lot more sense, but that's not what we're doing today. My knot came undone. That's fine. Color on this is looking great. Nice and red. And you can make these as big or as small as you want. I'm not too concerned with perfect consistency here. But what I do want to make sure is that they are nice and plump, otherwise we'll end up with a crumbly sausage, and nobody wants a crumbly sausage. Yeah, these are looking real nice. And again, the name of the game when casing is just keeping the proper amount of pressure on this casing so it doesn't just fly off and give you a little skinny dink sausage. But at the same time, if you put too much pressure, it'll overfill and then pop your casing, which is a pain in the butt. Haven't made chicken sausage in a long time. Typically at Leroy and Lewis, when we make chicken sausage, the few times we have, we do half chicken, half pork, and that works out really nicely. Again, I was talking earlier about the Bubba Cole sausage that was half beef, half turkey, and yeah, it's got a really nice texture to it. But today we're going all chicken, a little bit of pork fat, and theoretically, with all that binder in there, it should work out nicely. And like I mentioned, chicken is a pretty blank canvas. It's not all that flavorful, so you can really go wild with chicken sausages. Adding some cheese in here, adding some more herbs. Probably in November around Thanksgiving, I'll probably do a turkey sausage with a bunch of sage and stuff in it. That sounds pretty tasty. Back of the knife, tiny little hole, try and get some of this air off of the horn here. Might make the casing pop, we'll find out. All good. But yeah, some cheesy chicken sausage is definitely gonna happen. Throw some pepper jack in here, that'd be great. Maybe for football season, I'll do a buffalo blue cheese sausage. That sounds pretty good. And I believe that's it. Yep, that's 6 pounds of sausage right there. Glad I didn't make a gigantic batch this time. So we'll tie this end off, and then you can also go through and make sure everything is nice and tight. Re-twirl all these, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. So, with all these sausages made, it is now time to fire up the pit. Also, I've mentioned this in other sausage making videos, but it's gonna take a good 15-20 minutes to get this fire started. So to help try and keep the flies off while also drying out the casings, I've got a little fan right here, just keeping these nice and dry. And you can see that they're already looking pretty dry. So little pro tip for you. I got a pro tip for you. Keep the snakes out of your boots. Nice round dense pieces, great for cold smoking. And as you can see, just like 20 minutes later, these are looking a lot drier. Those casings are looking real dry, and that's a great thing because now we can go through and separate them without having to worry about that end opening up. If I flip it over, you can see how it's still kind of wet on this side. Probably should have flipped these once or twice, but hey, lessons to be learned. So I've got 2 big dense logs on this one chimney of charcoal behind me on this pit. We're gonna be trying to rock this smoker around 150 degrees or so we can get some really nice smoke penetration on these links without rendering out any of the fat. Because if that happens, it may start to leach out and we'll end up with some really dry, crumbly sausages. So onto the pit they go. And this is the first time I have done a cook on this thing since I cleaned it out a couple of weeks back. So it should be really nice to give us some nice clean weenies. So 150-ish degrees we're gonna go for the next few hours. While we wait for these sausage links to smoke away, let's go ahead and make ourselves a little lunch. This video is brought to you by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. With thousands of meal plans to choose from, whether you're a meat eater, vegetarian, pescatarian, or you're looking for something quick and easy, HelloFresh has got you covered. And if you live a busy life like I do, having someone else do all the shopping for you once or twice a week is a really great thing. And because HelloFresh only gives you the exact amounts of ingredients that you need, you're not gonna end up with a bunch of food waste. And it makes these meals super easy to put together because you don't have to weigh anything out or measure anything out. And I must say, everything they have sent me so far has been absolutely fantastic. And not only are you saving on food waste with a meal kit plan like this, but also all their packaging is made from recycled materials for a surprisingly low carbon footprint. Tell you what, this is great for beginner cooks too, because you don't have to worry about exact measurements or anything because everything's already pre-portioned. It's also a good way to learn all the basic techniques of cooking. My girlfriend is also a big fan of these meals. She rarely sets foot in the kitchen, but because everything is so quick and easy and simple to put together, she's been enjoying it too. This meal in particular, if I wasn't filming it, would have come together in probably about 8 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh, that's looking real nice. And the food you get is quality as well. These tortillas feel real nice. Gotta have a little cheese. Fold them up. Brooke, would you like to try a cheesy beef tortilla melt?
Okay, yeah.
Got a
Fancy way to say quesadilla.
Yeah, good.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Simple, cheesy, beefy.
Yeah, man, if I do.
Well, those certainly disappeared quick. But if you're in the market for some hassle-free weeknight meals or just looking for a little help with some meal prep, head over to HelloFresh.com. Use promo code ChudsBBQ14 for up to 14 free meals. Again, that's HelloFresh.com. Use code ChudsBBQ14 for 14 free meals. Thank you, HelloFresh. We're about 2 hours into this smoke, and these weenies are looking great. Nice red color on there. Getting some good smoke on there. And look at that, there's not too much soot on the bottom because we just cleaned the pit. But I'm gonna go ahead and flip all these over to get even smoke penetration. And they should be done in the next hour or so. But while you're back here, you might as well give them a little clean, because as you know, everybody loves a clean weenie. After about 3 hours of smoking away, I am pulling these off, and they are looking fantastic. Got a beautiful, nice red color on there, plenty of smoke. So into the ice bath they go. And again, the point of the ice bath is just to help shrink up the casing, stop the cooking process, seal in all that steam that we would lose if we just let them sit out. And it also chills them right down, so you could vac seal them up, pop them in your fridge, pop them in the freezer. But I want to see how these came out, so I'm going to bump this temp up to about 250, 275. We'll get a couple crisped off. It'll only take about 20-30 minutes, and then we will see how they taste. After about 30 minutes, these links are hot and ready. I temped them in right at 165 degrees, and they are ready to slice in. Without further ado, let's see how these chicken sausages came out. Ooh, nice and juicy, very coarse. Evan.
Yeah?
Would you like to try some chicken
I
sausage?
sure would.
So this is chicken thighs, some chicken livers, and some pork fat.
So no pork meat.
No pork meat.
Okay, that's really good. Really tasty. Jesus, man.
Juice?
I think chicken thighs are much better for a sausage, for pretty much anything than chicken breasts.
Cole, you want to give us a sausage pop?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Look at that. Don't squeeze your meat, folks. That was really good.
I wouldn't know there were livers in there if you hadn't told me, which I think is what you want. I think they had like a rounded and a depth of flavor, but good.
Just poultry in the sausage, I feel like is the way to go. Texture is on, the flavor is really good. It picks up more smokiness, I feel like. I also just feel like it's not heavy. Like,
Yeah.
you can eat this sausage. You can eat a whole thing.
Get that juice in the beard.
Oh, yeah.
It's extremely juicy.
For the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic chicken sausage. Again, this turned out way better than I anticipated it to. It was incredibly firm, nice and plump, really great texture, nice snap, smoky, flavorful, everything you want out of a sausage. So I highly recommend you giving this a try. I'm looking forward to experimenting a lot more with chicken sausages. But that being said, if you make your own chicken sausage, be sure to hit me up on Instagram at ChudsBBQ. I love to see what y'all are cooking. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should cook up next. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!